said, we let Ashanti down because we didn't notice their roads. NPP let Ashanti down because they didn't have flyovers. But I have been in meetings where MPs from Ashanti region have said that and yet flyovers they want their community roads done. And in politics, you are supposed to give people what they say they want, not what you think they want. They wanted their community roads. And when you look at the number of roads that was done in Ashanti region, per capita across the country, you can't say that NPP let Ashanti region down. Yet, an NPP person was apologizing for disappointing Ashanti, for neglecting Ashanti. Now, if you want to win in 2028, and this is your attitude, that's what you have to say. One guy. There's a difference between humility, okay, and knocking yourself down. You can show humility, and let me put no sense. Hey, yeah, you expected more from us, and we are sorry that we couldn't deliver all that you asked. But politics is a competitive, comparative game, in the sense that it is between you and I. That's what it is. So if you accept the propaganda and you say, forget about even the propaganda, you accept, or you say, you did not do well. You did well under very difficult circumstances. But if you go on and looking at just the negatives, how then do you stand up and say, 2028 is our best chance? How is 2028 going to be your best chance? How do you go and convince the Ghanaians there? The friend is saying, oh, what dear, I'm sorry. What dear, I failed you. But my members is here again. Then you have to wait your time, whatever that time is. You must be bolder in defending what you did. You must be humble in accepting where you fell short. All right? And you must have the confidence to say, look, in spite of this and that, I can tell you, I built more roads than any government that has spent the number of times that I spent in the office. I can tell you that I did more for health. I did more for agri. I did more for education. I did more for the military. I did more for the police. I did more for so many areas. You can see all that because the facts are there. The facts are there, but you sit there and you blame yourself and you feel sorry for yourself and you want to come back to office in 2028. Are you serious?
Collins, were you part of the meeting where you were asked to make a decision whether you preferred community roads or major infrastructure projects in Ashanti region?
So, when this news broke,
okay,
I had my own thought about it. Subsequently, Mr. Gabby Otchere-Darko through our caucus chair.
Okay.
And we're informed by our caucus chair that Mr. Gabby Otchere-Darko has apologized to the caucus.
Who's your caucus chair?
Our caucus chair is the Member of Parliament for Asante Achem. Get his name.
Okay.
The Member of Parliament for Asante Achem.
Asante Achem MP. Please go ahead.
Animedu.
Yes.
Has informed us that Mr. Gabby Otchere-Darko has apologized to the caucus for his use of the phrase that members of parliament from the Ashanti region failed our constituents. I have not been in any meeting with Mr. Gabby Otchere-Darko with regards road infrastructure in Ashanti region, where members of parliament from Ashanti region opted for town roads instead of flyovers. I've never been in any meeting with him like that. And that is why the statement from the caucus vehemently rejected that proposition from Mr. Gabby Otchere-Darko. I have not. I'm a member of parliament. I'm in my second term. I never sat in any meeting of the Ashanti caucus and Mr. Gabby Otchere-Darko where issues about our preference for town roads as against flyovers were discussed. I've never been in that meeting. So I don't know where that is coming from. But as I said, he has come to apologize. And for the sake of the unity and forward-looking of the party, I think we'll take that apology and move on. His issue about why we are apologizing, and he thinks that if you apologize, what else are you going to say in 2028? I listened to the video, and I didn't hear him refer to any of the presidential candidates. I realized he was referring to a particular member of parliament in response to one member of parliament. I don't see anything wrong in rendering an apology, if there is. I don't see anything wrong with that. And I don't see how that is going to prevent NPP from winning the next election if Ghanaians decide to give us another chance. I don't see the correlation in apologizing for something we did wrong and assuring Ghanaians that we'll correct our mistakes. I don't see anything wrong with that. His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself, just last week, I read that he said one of his darkest moments was when a decision was taken about the DDEP. That is a direct acknowledgement of the fact that on hindsight, he would have done something different. So if Nana Addo apologizes for that particular aspect, what is wrong with that? The circumstances may have made it difficult.
Maybe the talk about his darkest moments may not necessarily suggest that he's saying he's sorry. It may be one of his difficult moments. It may mean
that he would have wished, on hindsight, to have done something different within the circumstances.
Maybe not.
Within the circumstances, he would have wished that he would have done something different.
My point is that let's not give the darkest moments only one meaning, which is to say that.
My point is that the fact that the president himself has acknowledged that something was very difficult for him, and he knows that that went a long way to hurt the middle class, in itself is an acknowledgement that if he had the opportunity again, I'm not sure he would told that line. That's what it means.
Maybe.
Yes, he would have told a different line.
That's what I'm saying, maybe.
Yes, he would have told a different line. So I don't see anything wrong with somebody apologizing. In fact, almost all our presidential candidates have apologized. I've heard Honorable Kennedy Japan apologizing to delegate to NPP people for one mistake or the other. I've heard Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say same. I don't see anything wrong in apologizing and seeking forgiveness and preparing yourself to do better. I don't see anything wrong with that. And I don't see how that makes it difficult for us to sell our message in 2028. I don't see that. But as I said, he's come back to apologize. And this is coming from our caucus chair, that he, on hindsight, could have used a more appropriate wording for the discussion he held. I think we should just leave it as that.
But it's also important for us to ask, what is Gabby apologizing for? Because I see two themes emerging from his talk. The first theme has to do with what Ashanti MP said he wanted, as in preference for community roads instead of a flyover, as you rightly pointed out. And the second theme that emerges from that statement is this whole talk about an apology. And I get it when you say perhaps he was referring to an MP. But somebody can also argue that by extension, what he's trying to say is that the whole principle of apologizing and how it is done can sometimes, it can send the wrong signal to the electors going into the 2028 elections. And by extension, all other persons who may have said they apologize or rendered an apology. I don't want to get a point. He may have mentioned MP, but if in principle he has a challenge with an apology and how it is rendered, in order that the wrong impression is not created, then you can also say that all other persons who may have said that he has a problem.
Isn't it interesting that he has a problem with an apology, but he has apologized?
Maybe the context, circumstances. Yes. Circumstances.
He has a problem with you apologizing.
Yes.
But he has just apologized.
But we don't know what he's apologizing for. Well, you say he has apologized to the Ashanti caucus, isn't it?
Yes, because
so perhaps has to do with
he said that the Ashanti members of parliament failed. That's what he said.
Yes.
And we challenged that. I didn't fail. I don't think I failed, my people. I did not fail. So I challenged that. But I'm saying that he is worried that we are apologizing. But he has come back to apologize.
But in that video,
Yes.
I don't think that when you watch the video, he entirely has a problem with people apologizing. I get the impression that he's saying that it is okay to admit where you feel there are some shortfalls and there are some excesses or some ills. But to go on and talk about apology makes it look like nothing good happened under the Nanado administration.
Then
that he's saying, talk more and defend the good things about the government or the Etwa government. And then where there are one or two things that didn't go right, you are free to state
that is his interpretation.
Okay.
But the point I'm making is that there's nothing wrong in apologizing for something that you think you could have done better. There's nothing wrong with that. And for me, that does not bar us from getting ourselves ready to do better in the next election. I don't see where that correlation is coming from. I don't see that. And I'm saying that if apology is the only problem, he himself has come back to apologize. So apologizing is not the problem. Because he himself has demonstrated that when you make a mistake, when you misspeak, you can apologize. So there's nothing wrong in apologizing. I am saying I reject the claim that members of parliament from the Ashanti region failed their constituent. I reject that claim. I don't accept that. Because I don't think that I failed as a member of parliament. I don't think so. So I will not accept that claim from Mr. Gabby Otchere-Darko that members of parliament from the Ashanti region failed. What is the basis for our failure? What is the basis for our failure? Let's check the results. The Ashanti region produced the highest number of votes for the MPP.
Yes.
So what is the basis of our failure?
But it's possible that some of your colleagues may have met him and told him that they prefer community roads.
Met him?
It's possible, yeah.
So you should mention those names. You should be able to mention the members of parliament, those who met him, to have that discussion with him. I have not had any meetings with Gabby.
Okay.
Yes. So I think it's unfair when a leading member of our party makes a blanket statement to say that all members of parliament from Ashanti region failed. That is wrong, and I don't accept that.